Welcome into the PTA pregame show, PTA game day, whatever you want to call it, man. We got Packers football on TV today. Really excited to chat about all the details coming down the pike here, getting you guys ready for kickoff in Cleveland as the Packers are traveling to that beautiful city. We'll leave it at that to play the Browns. All right. So it's going to be an awesome show here. We're going to give you all we actually had the Packers inactives just went live. So we'll bring you that info right out of the gate. And we'll take you all the way up to kickoff. And we're going to show you some key stats. We're going to show you live shots from around the stadium and just get you amped up and ready to go. I know we've seen Miss Jen in here said, hey, guys, make it chilly, but listening in. God, what I need that chili recipe, Jen. That's what I need right out of the gate. I promise you that. And I'm going to make a kilo of chili here soon, Jacob. I'm going to try to change things up a bit. And the rumor that I keep hearing on the streets, throw a little brown sugar in, bro. A little brown sugar makes it just right. So.
Well, you know the trick to the best chili.
Oh no, this is not going to go.
No, it's Kevin from The Office. You don't cook the onions all the way, and then you get to know each other in the can. Remember, Kevin? It's the one thing I do best.
Love it, man. Love it. So if you guys would do that YouTube stuff for us, hit like, hit subscribe. If you're new here, welcome into the PTA pregame show. We're not experts here. We're not insiders, obviously. We're not media members. We are fans just like you talking Packers on the daily. We'll also be going live immediately following the game for our PTA post-game show, giving you all the stats, press conference, all that good stuff. So if you're looking for that type of content, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we do go live. We appreciate y'all making us a part of your day. Jacob, let me hit this real quick here first. King Tron, been a member for 9 months on the channel, says Agent Zero putting up 100 and a tutty. Go, Pack, go. Thanks, boys. Appreciate you, Tron. I think, I put a little article together, did a little research, and it kind of feels like Matthew Golden is poised for a breakout game here, Jacob. However, we do got good news. Tucker Kraft is playing. But what do you think about what Tron said there? Do you think that this is the game where we look up and go, all right, Matthew Golden, breakout game?
Honestly, I do. And along with Tron, it looks like that some guys in Vegas and a lot of like the prize picks, underdog, that sort of stuff, they definitely upped his kind of par, his over-under, if you will. And it looks like fantasy as well. They kind of had him slated around 10 to 11 points, depending on the site. So there is a little chatter going on that something's happening with that guy. And, we've seen it multiple times in this last few weeks that they're just a few inches away from connecting on some major long bombs, and which would absolutely catapult Jordan Love's numbers into just being standalone, probably the best quarterback in certain metrics in the league right now. So I think Tron's got a good point. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get number 0 up in there. Pivot comes in hard and says chocolate chips in the chili. I don't know what's going on there, man. I don't know.
Whoa. Well, I don't know, man. That sounds like somebody been smoking a touch. I could be wrong. Sound like some thick smoke in the air over there. Hey, listen, no hate, though, until you try it, right? Don't hate it until you try it. Got Rob Westerman in the house. Sup, fellas? Happy game day. Happy game day to you, Rob. Appreciate you swinging through, buddy. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So, yeah, let's correction. Tim is our insider, says Chuck. All right, let's get into the inactives here. You ready? Paul Brettel, our good friend. Packers inactives, Kamal Haddon, Donovan Jennings, Warren Brinson, once again. Kraft and Tom will play. So Tucker Kraft, obviously the news kind of broke yesterday and right after I went live that, hey, Tucker Kraft is planning on playing. And now they're saying Zach Tom will play. Jacob, I was saying, look, if Kraft is just a little banged up, sit him, right? I thought there was no chance that Zach Tom would play this game, man.
Yeah, I didn't either, to be honest. I think it's just, it's a double-edged sword for me right now because I don't want us to force those two back specifically because I think that they are absolute catalysts on our offense. I think that a fella by the name of Myles Garrett might have something to do about this. And Zach Tom says, I want to get out there and protect Jordan Love. And like Jed just said, they got the O-line back together. Banks is good to go, I believe. So I'm just excited to see what these guys can do. I hate saying trap game type thing, but there is, some elements where you can see if Joe Flacco comes out and if we can't get a rush on him, he's a veteran quarterback that could maybe put some game plan together, but, and that Cleveland defense is no slouch. So this isn't just a walk and give me game. I'm excited to see these guys come out, and more importantly, I'm going to see how they react to their first road game. If Hafley can get these guys fired up, if LaFleur can keep the piss hot, if Micah Parsons comes out and has a different type of, pre-game, whatever, momentum, motivation, whatever you want to call it, I'm excited to see these guys walk out there and take care of business on the road.
Yeah, Biz 1987 says, I'm okay with that if the Green Bay Doctors are good with it. Same here, Biz. I'm not in no way am I saying, I don't want them to play. To me, I think it does say that they're much healthier than we thought they were, specifically Zach Tom, because we've seen earlier in the week he was really struggling. Although this is the same guy last year that played with the, they rehabbed the torn pec, they fixed it and everything, but they said he wasn't right all year long and still had his highest PFF grade of his young career, which is pretty wild to think about. So as Jen Wright pointed out, Tom looked better at practice on Thursday because remember, Jen, Wednesday, he looked rough. Like he could barely walk almost, Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting though, man. Excited to have those guys back in the lineup. Let's jump over to the Browns side real quick as I want to highlight one here or hit a comment that you hit on earlier. I apologize. See, B Timmy 10 says Conklin out for Cleveland. Clay, I remember you saying their backup right tackle was struggling. So here's the official inactive list here. Shout out to Daniel Oyafusi. I hope I'm saying that right. Said Browns left guard Joe Batonio is active while right tackle Jack Conklin is inactive. Cornelius Lucas is expected to start for the second straight game. All right. Other inactives are quarterback Shedeur Sanders. He's the emergency quarterback. Safety Damonte Kazi. Cornerback Cameron Mitchell. Running back Raheem Sanders. Defensive tackle Mike Hall Jr. with the knee. And then guard Zach Zenter. So once again, backup right tackle going to be playing over there. We're going to be moving Micah around a lot, I'm sure. Predominantly, it's probably going to be Rashawn Gary rushing that side, although we've seen him, flip and flop in both directions there. So I think this you got Joe Flacco, who's somewhat of a statue back there. Like you said, Jacob, he's played a lot of NFL football. So you never know when a guy like him could get hot in the pocket and just start picking you apart. That could happen. But, man, the fact that he is not a mobile quarterback and they're starting their backup right tackle, I think that does tilt a little bit in Green Bay's favor, obviously. What do you think, man?
I completely agree. And Joel Batonio is not 100% healthy, guys. He's had back issues. Ryan said that they categorize it as old man back, which I got now, and it sucks.
Me too.
Yeah. And, that's not the kind of thing where you just snap your fingers and then the next day you go out and you're good to go just because they made you active. And that being said, Jack Conklin, that's a big miss for them. And the left tackle, I believe, is that giant guy. It wasn't he like the 6'8", 375 that player, and that guy that was literally so big that he had to be taken off the field for wind issues, like endurance issues. So I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch type thing. But it just feels like that this is a day for Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Mr. Devontae Wyatt, LVN to absolutely feast. And yeah, Joe Flacco still got a hell of an arm. He can sling that tater like nobody else, but this is just the painting on the wall to me. It looks like that we could have ourselves a pretty productive day on defense.
Yeah. Obviously, the number one priority is secure the win, right? However you got to do it. I don't care if it's pretty, ugly, what have you. But if you do get up by a few scores, might be a good idea to start going to some backups, obviously. And don't push it with Zach Tom.
If for some reason, sorry, man. Sorry to cut you off, but I got it to that Walmart, or I'm sorry, Goodwill for like $4.
My man, look at that. That's sharp, like stripes on the sleeve. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
So if you get out there and let's say you happen to be fortunate enough to go up by a couple scores somehow, some way, don't be afraid to bring in Anthony Belton, let him get some meaningful reps at right tackle. And that way you don't overwork Zach Tom as well. Same thing with Tucker Kraft, right? Go ahead and go to the backup tight end. And now if it's a close game, which there's no reason to think it couldn't be, then, let them grind it out. That's the way it is. King Tron with the super chat says, I think Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, and Devontae Wyatt all record sacks today. Thank you for the super chat, Tron. I could see that, man. Listen, Devontae Wyatt's not being talked about enough. He took that 3-tech, which he played 3-tech last year, don't get me wrong. But with Kenny Clark now out of the lineup, nothing's really changed for Devontae Wyatt because Carl Brooks is playing the 1-tech predominantly, unless they're in a base look where they'll bring in some Nas Stackhouse. But Devontae Wyatt's playing exactly like he did last year. Before he hurt his ankle, Jacob, Devontae Wyatt was getting after it, dude. He was crushing it. You know, he was on pace to have a career year. He may have finished with a career year in sacks anyway. I don't know, but I know he was kind of the talk of the town, that this guy was getting great, interior pressure, and he still finished pretty good statistically in terms of true pass set pressure rate last year. But the fact that he's kind of amping it up early here and seems to be fully healthy with the ankle is exciting. What do you think about what he said there with those three guys? You think they'll all get sacks today?
I mean, just like what Holmes is saying, Flacco's a statue. As much as I love the guy, I have a weird obsession with Joe Flacco. My friends make fun of me all the time about it. I love the guy for what he stands for and how he's played and gritted it out. But he's past his prime, and there's no doubt about it. And the guy is not mobile. We're not talking about Mr. Mike Vick back there, right? So if these guys are on their horse today, and if they are fired up, if the piss is hot, I do see that them three at least getting one, and I think that a few others might get one as well.
Yeah, I could see it. Matt Schneidman threw a tweet out earlier today, said no surprise, but there's plenty of green outside of the stadium in Cleveland this morning. So it sounds like the Packers are representing on the road. No surprise at all, obviously. When we went to the Titans game last year, man, there were Packer fans everywhere. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah. I've been to a few Titans games in my time when I lived in Nashville, and it was unreal how many Packer fans would show up. Even there would be times I'd go to with my buddy Moonshine. We'd go to the games, and he'd wear his Dallas jersey, and I'd wear my Green Bay jersey, and there'd be like hundreds of people just randomly wearing Packers gear and stuff, and it's just funny, man. Chuck Jagger's making a pretty giant claim to fame. He says, "I'm calling it right now. Bain will retire Flacco today."
Oh, yeah. Let's don't go out there and hurt the guy.
Seriously.
What? Now, I mean, I guarantee you, Flacco's thinking about backup right tackle, and look at this pass rush that Green Bay's put together. So, again, man, this is a pass rush that finished 8th in sacks last year before they added Micah Parsons, and that was with Devontae White going out late in the season and being banged up, right? So, Michael A. Smith, not to be confused with Stephen A. Smith, says, I think the Packers will get 8 sacks today. Jeez, Pete. What was it they had against the Titans last year, Jake? Was it 9? Am I thinking right? 9 sacks?
I can't remember for sure, but it was up there, man. That's the one that you were there, right? And you said that once these guys, once they get up on the lead, they're going to unleash the dogs, and then they did.
They did, yeah. Boy. Let me tell you, they were bringing 6 and 7. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Rob Demoski put the tweet out here. Tucker Kraft with the knee going through warmups. Inactives announced at the bottom of the hour. Obviously, we already covered that, but it sure looks like he's playing. So you see Tucker out there. I think it was just more of a scare, Jacob, than anything when it comes to Tucker Kraft. I don't know how you feel about that, but it when you first heard it, all of Packers Twitter blew up like, oh God, Tucker Kraft's got a knee. He's out for the season. But obviously it seemed like they started walking those tweets back almost immediately, right? As if, all right, it's not that big of a deal. Obviously, it doesn't seem like it was. So Tucker Kraft looks good to go here.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it. I mean, that I've said it multiple times. I think that may be my favorite Green Bay Packer right now, which is saying something considering that we have some absolute dogs on this team. There's just something about him that just screams, I'm a Midwestern, drinking the working man's Gatorade, just ripping cigs, long darts, bush lattes. What do you think, Tim, about Tuck Norris being back in the game?
And Zach Tom, Tim.
Zach Tom.
Fingers are crossed. That's all I'm going to say. But hey, you know what? Every game matters. I know it's, we talk about how early it is in this season and everything like that. But it's hard to keep guys like this off the field, like every game matters in this NFL season. So I'm hoping that they are very selective with their deployment when it comes to Tuck Norris. And if there's even the slightest inkling that something's going on with that knee, I hope they hold him out. And then the same thing with Zach Tom, he's an absolute monster. Something's not right. Pull him out of there. We've got enough depth on this roster. Gangster Goot's been hard at work for the past few years. Let's lean on that depth if we need to get out of Cleveland with a win. I mean, the only thing that matters is a dub, does us no good if we, set ourselves back down the road, working these guys too hard. But that being said, if they're good to go, I trust it, right? They're good to go.
I found Tim's burner, by the way. He goes by Kayak Cole. He says, Flacco throws 7 interceptions today, 3 fumbles lost. We win 73-6. I just put my bet in with all my savings. I love it.
That's a Knuckle Rico bet right there.
It's hilarious too, because if this wasn't a Packers game, I might be taking the Browns and the points just because there's so many points. I think it's up to it. At last I heard, some places had it at 8 points. That's getting real tempting. Usually you wait till the first drive and see if the Browns can get a field goal or get a touchdown, or at least, maybe match a score, and then you take the live bet. But yeah, everybody else is screaming 70 burger. I hope you guys are right. And that would be absolutely awesome. So thought this was cool too. Shout out to CJM, one of our listeners, been a part of the community here for a long time. He says, football Sunday, you got PTA left on the left side with fantasy football on the right. My wife's suggestion, going to be a fun day. Check this out, man. How cool is that?
That's pretty dope, man.
Setup
that's a nice setup.
That rivals your setup there, Clayton.
Yeah, man. This is actually much better than my setup. I ain't gonna lie, CJ. This is nice, man. That's really.
I love that.
The support, man.
That's awesome. Thanks, CJ. That's cool.
His wife for letting him do that, dude.
Yeah, no doubt. She's
Notice how he didn't skimp on the second monitor either. You got to love that,
right?
We're not doing the Michael Scott, mini plasma monitor.
Didn't break out the 87 Magnavox, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So speaking of not skimping here, Xavier McKinney, Keyshawn Nixon running laps before the game. Shout out to Cameron Azir. I hope I'm saying the last name correctly there, as he's got this shot of the guys out there getting ready to go. Which, by the way, man, Keyshawn,
those are elective laps, right? Matt didn't make them run laps or anything.
Yeah, hopefully nobody got caught smoking hash in the parking lot or something. You know what I mean? That's
Tim, you're getting called out here by the missus. Don't get any ideas, Tim, is what Mrs. Green says.
It's hilarious. All the ladies, all the wives and the significant, our wives and Jacob's significant others are worried right now that we're going to get ideas like Dwight Schrute with the mega desk, right? We're just going to have like monitors scattered all over.
Mega desk. My wife's checking the Amazon cart right now just to double check, make sure that I didn't do anything stupid.
Mike Berry says, "Come on, the screen, come on."
That's a veteran move, by the way. Just hitting refresh on the Amazon cart, and as your spouse adds stuff in, just remove it right back out of the cart. Take it right back out of the cart. They'll never know what happened, right?
Donovan says, "My wife's currently rolling her eyes at me for watching you guys on my phone and NFL Network on the TV."
You signed up for it, Mrs. Schilling. You signed up for it, all right?
Love it.
All right, let's see here. I wanted to point this out. Now, listen, this got mixed reviews over on X. I don't want to be negative here, but it just cracks me up. Like, this is a fun statistic, all right? Regular season. If Jordan Love doesn't – and notice I put if Jordan Love doesn't throw an interception today. I didn't say Jordan Love's going to do this today, right? Just pointing this out. I've talked about on this show many times that Jordan Love needs to protect the football. Early in the season last year, he was really careless with the football. He's battling injuries, got a little bit healthier as the season went along, did a lot better. Check this out, guys. If Jordan Love doesn't throw an interception today, it will be his 10th straight regular season game without an interception, setting the best Packers mark since the merger. If you don't know since the merger, it's when the AFL and the NFL merged, right? So you're talking about, what year was that, Tim? 1966, I think, 65 maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
So now immediately you got the negative Nancy's. And it is funny. I love going through people's Twitter account when they post something negative and just kind of see what they've had to say. All these people that are saying, you just jinxed him. If you go through and just type Jordan Love in their Twitter account, you'll notice they bashed the hell out of Jordan Love throughout the course of the last couple of years. So it's funny how that works, right? So anyway, they're the same. And I did put a tweet out. I was being a little toxic this morning. Like, the people that say you're going to jinx us are the same fans that when you watch a game with them, they're screaming, run the ball. And 2 plays later, they're going, why aren't we throwing the ball? The entire game, right? I thought this was cool, though, man. Does this surprise you guys? I wanted to ask y'all, does this surprise you guys that Jordan Love has done such a good job protecting the football? Now, keep in mind, turn the ball over at Philly in the playoff game, right? Notice this is just regular season statistic here. However, we pointed out in the Philly game, at some point, you got to start taking shots. You got to try to get the ball down the field, right? The dink and the dunking wasn't working. But what do y'all think about this, man? Is Jordan Love kind of turning the page and protecting the football?
I mean, Corey Murphy makes it great. He goes, people still act like he's so careless with the ball. The man has matured. We've watched it before our eyes. I think that, it's going to – and the people that say you're jinxing it, that's just stupid. So silly, I'll pass it over to Tim in 2 seconds here, but Jacobs as well today could possibly tie an NFL rookie record with 12 consecutive touchdowns in a game. He's going to be tying the absolute beast of LaDainian Tomlinson. And which is just insane to think about. So like, I'm not worried about that. I'm not jinxing that. What do you think about this here, Tim?
You know how I feel about individual stats, right? Because we
Yeah.
could hit both of those benchmarks and still lose the game. So,
Right.
I mean,
it's a great point.
As far as the jinxing thing, I mean, that's usually what, fans of poverty franchises worry about because they have no faith in their football team. I've got faith in our team, and I'm not surprised at all about Jordan approaching this mark here. You guys know I've been carrying the J Money torch for very long time, since he was backing up 12. So I'm not entirely shocked, other than the fact that I agree with Clay in the essence of, I think Jordan's a little bit closer to Brett Favre than he is to Aaron Rodgers as far as the type of quarterback. So maybe that's a little surprising, because we all know Brett threw a few picks in his day, just a handful.
Really?
So to see Jordan being this, yeah, just a few. But to see Jordan at this point, approaching this kind of, statistic is kind of cool, man. I'm not going to say I'm completely shocked, but it is awesome. You're seeing the culmination of everything that we've been watching these past few seasons. And honestly, if you are surprised at the level of football that Jordan Love is playing right now, then you haven't been paying enough attention, man. This has been years in the making, and he's hitting his stride at the perfect time. We've got this defense humming. This Packers team is hot. So I think it's awesome. Hopefully we hit both of these benchmarks. We get Josh Jacobs there, we get Jordan there, and we come back to 1265 with another dub. 3-0, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. I like what Nick says here, Jacob. I appreciate you highlighting that, man. He says LaFleur said 2/3 of those interceptions in the playoffs were wide receiver error, meaning they either ran the wrong choice route or maybe didn't break it off at the right point. But the last one obviously was a YOLO ball, and it was. And you know what? It wasn't a bad throw either. I feel like Dontavion Wicks didn't do a good enough job of trying to play defense on a deep one-on-one shot, right? He just kind of lost where he was at a bit. And that's not to bash too hard on Wicks, who's off to a great start this season. But I agree with what Nick said there for sure.
Yeah, picks are a deceiving stat, right? Because, you can play that play perfectly, throw a dot out there, the ball gets tipped, crazy things happen, and then the quarterback gets credited with the interception,
Yeah, definitely. King Tron in the chat, like and subscribe for the boys. Come on now. Hey, appreciate you, Tron. If y'all would take just a quick second, we got a bunch of people in here. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. If you're new here, make sure you click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live. And if you're free this afternoon after the game, win, lose, or draw, we'll be in here talking about what went on with the Packers Browns, giving you all the details and just live coverage immediately following the game. But we appreciate y'all. And thank you for reminding us there, Tron. Everybody pulling the numbers now. Donovan Schilling says 161 watching on YouTube, only 30 likes. A lot of Bears fans in here shaking my head. So
Come on.
You got a rule. If you're not a Bears fan, hit like, okay? That's the rule. Let's see. There was something else I wanted to hit on. There's a couple of chats. Man, the chat, you guys are awesome. Y'all are on fire in here. Donovan Schilling also said, my bold prediction is 3 defensive turnovers and or 3 touchdowns between Savion and Golden Market. That's another guy that we're not talking enough about, Savion. This could be, we talked about maybe Golden will pick up that role there with Jaden Reed being out and getting a few more targets. What if they just throw Savion in there? He'll definitely be in the rotation with Dontavion Wicks. I feel comfortable saying that. Although you've also got Malik Heath too, man. All of a sudden you look up, Jacob, this wide receiver room, pretty damn deep. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, we talked about it all offseason that this was and I still stick by this, that we have the deepest wide receiver room in the league by far. I really do think that our number 5 and number 6, hell, even some of our practice squad guys could be starting top 3, top 4 on a lot of other squads. What a great problem to have. And then we haven't even had the resurgence of Christian Watson yet, and that's going to be an absolute beast. Can you imagine when you have guys staring down the barrel of a Christian Watson, Matthew Golden type matchup? Obviously Bird went out, and that's not going to be any sort of, you're never going to be better without having Bird on the field, right? But the fact that we have the amount of depth that Goody decided that, even though we were stacked at wide receiver last year, let's add 2 more absolute just dynamic duo type guys between Golden and Savion. Like you said, I could see something crazy like Donovan's saying there, man.
Yeah. I think especially with Savion Williams, we talked about this running attack against this Cleveland defense. And I think he's going to help us manufacture some yards in the RPO running game kind of look. We can get the ball in his hands early too and let him go out there and cook as well.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. All right, let's see. You got one more. Got a couple more. Hit that other one that you got marked there, Jacob, or maybe I marked.
Yeah, Holmes was asking. Not sure if anybody in the chat can help us out right now. It said, "What's the current line at? Too busy to look." Donovan Schilling right away shot back. He goes, "I got us at +8, Doc." I don't know if that means him personally or just if it's actually
Some sites have 7.5, but I've seen 8 on others as well.
Okay, gotcha.
That's about where we're sitting there. Then Holmes said, "Did you guys hear the 2 teams came calling for Quay, offered cheeks? Goot hung up. LOL." They did. That is correct. I want to say the best offer they got was like a 5th or a 6th, I believe it was, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I heard too.
Yeah, no way you're doing that deal. No way.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, now let's do this. How about we wrap back around to hit that super chat real quick, Jacob, and then I'll get some more stuff keyed up here.
Mr. King Tron, longtime fan of the show. He says, if we lost Reed and Watson last year, it would have felt like the season was doomed. We have lost arguably our wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2, and I'm still confident. That's exactly how I feel as well. It's crazy to think that way.
I agree. That's a great point. It speaks to the depth we just talked about in the receiver room. You're not you're concerned. Obviously, those are elite weapons in this offense, but when you've got the depth behind them, and then a rookie phenom like Matthew Golden, and like we said, Savion Williams for that matter, feel pretty good at this point.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's go around the league real quick. Thank you for that super chat, Tron. We appreciate you, buddy. Let's go around the league and just give everybody an idea of what's going to be on tap for today's games. So obviously Packers Browns, you got the 1 o'clock kickoff there on Fox. 83 degrees is what it's showing here on the AccuWeather forecast. So looks like it's partly cloudy. The current spread they're showing is 7.5. Total over and under is 41.5 points. You've got the Bengals at the Vikings. All right. So that's going to be at US Bank Stadium, obviously indoor controlled climate there. What do y'all think about the Bengals and the Vikings game today, man? Do you think the Bengals without Joe Burrow still finds a way to beat the Vikings? And the reason I asked that is because we got a couple of other things to cover here. I'll pull up on the screen real quick. I want to get your all's take on it. But what do y'all think about Bengals and Vikings?
Can I say quick, because I'm right in the heart of frickin' the Viking land, which is depressing most of the time. There is a weird murmur that these guys are quietly confident that Carson Wentz is going to come in here and be make this team a much better team than what JJ McCarthy was. I'm not saying that Carson Wentz is going to be or that JJ is going to end up not being as good as Carson Wentz, but they're saying that he's able to, another veteran guy that's been around the block quite a few times, that he and with Kevin, that coordinator the head coach that actually seems to be a little bit of a quarterback whiz, you know what I mean? That they can get him playing at a level where it makes the Vikings absolutely kind of their maximum potential is going to be reached, sort of thing. That being said, Browning is a very, very good backup. He arguably may be one of the better backups in the league. Second, of course, to Malik Willis, I would argue. But what do you think, Tim, about that?
I think for KOC, having a veteran quarterback like Carson Wentz is going to make things easier. It's going to open up his call sheet. Game plan. So, but that being said, go Cincy. How about them Bengals?
Let's get them Bengals.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, Tracy Wolfson here tweets out. First of all, Jim H says quarterback controversy in Minnesota. LOL. Tracy Wolfson tweeted out, JJ McCarthy has a high ankle sprain. Didn't go on IR because he would have had to miss 4 games. He will be in Europe with the team the next 2 weeks and rehab there. Expectation is he gets the bye week after to recover and then returns versus the Eagles. Timeline can be moved up if he feels good, though. And I wanted to point this out because this is what caught my attention yesterday. JPA over on X tweeted this out. And I want to get your all's opinion on this real quick. Because, Jacob, you just said, vibes kind of feel like they're high right now over there. This tweet here, and again, pretty good following, 311,000 followers here. So this isn't, somebody's weird cousin in the basement tweeting this out. Report, the vibes in Vikings locker room is not great, according to Andrew Kramer, however you say the name there. Quote, this is a team that's desperate. Vibes are not great. That's at least kind of what I've been sensing around the team. So you're hearing multiple reports like what Jacob just said. Then you got other people that seem to be pretty concerned about this team. I mean, the reality is they won 14 games last year. They got a little bit cute and thought, you know what? Let's go with JJ McCarthy and let Sam Darnold walk into free agency. Sam Darnold is grading out as a top 5 quarterback. J.J. McCarthy couldn't hit a bull in the ass with a mop. It's been really interesting turn of events here. Now, he's young, and he could turn it around, right, Stephen? He could turn it around, but I don't know. That's I thought that was interesting yesterday when it came down to Of course, I had to tweet it out with the Seinfeld saying, that's a shame.
That's a shame. No, that's kind of what my point was, is that's the only hope they have, is that Carson Wentz could possibly pull them out of this freaking firestorm that they're in. My Viking fan friends are not excited, and they are not. They're very quiet. There's no cockiness at all anymore. And I got to tell you, like to quote Jerry, that's a shame. That's a shame.
What do you think, Tim?
I love it. What do you mean? I hate Minnesota. I love it. Your pain and struggle brings me joy.
Your tears.
Heard it from a fan right here.
There it is. All right, let's go back to the games. Just kind of go around the league real quick, see what other games we got on tap, boys. As soon as the game finishes up, we'll be live for a post-game show, and right here on this monitor will be the Bears and the Cowboys. So you got the 1-1 Cowboys traveling to Chicago to play the 0-2 Bears. If somehow, some way, the Cowboys beat the Bears and they start 0-3, Ben Johnson, I don't know if y'all been watching the pressers. I got to be real with you guys. I'm kind of becoming a closet Bears fan. I'm watching more of their content than Packers content because it is entertaining as hell watching Ben Johnson kick and scream and squirm like a little kid. He thought he was going to come into the North and just come over here and dominate. You guys remember the comment he made about Matt LaFleur? You know, I really enjoy beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. And that's exactly how his voice sounded.
Hey, you remember this? Remember this?
Get ready to go.
Lost that energy real quick. Get ready to go.
Yeah,
home with no playoff berth.
You start this season 0-5, 0-6, you better get ready to go, buddy. Pack them bags.
Get ready to go.
I'm sure you got a decent buyout of that contract, but it ain't looking pretty. What do you think, Jacob? You hit that super chat along the way if you want, buddy.
Yeah, paging Dr. Crutch. That's the first time I've seen him there. He said, join the pay chat and sent a pup with jersey pick on XGPG. I don't know exactly. I think it means join the PayPal maybe and send a pup with jersey pick, but
gotcha. Probably on Patreon, I bet.
Okay, gotcha. Paging Dr. Crutch, we appreciate that super chat for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think Ben Johnson, it reminds me of multiple presidents where they just looked aged very quickly because of the amount of stress that they're going through. That's what Ben Johnson looks like. He looks like a guy that's been in office for 17 years and it happened in 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
I see Ben Johnson and I get strong vibes of
playoffs. Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
Could you imagine if you had a rant like that? Oh my God, dude. It's just funny watching the Bears fans, man. If you guys want good humor, go back immediately following free agency in the draft and just watch them run the victory laps. They thought they did it again.
Oh yeah, off-season heroes. Yeah,
hilarious, man. Absolutely hilarious. I'll see if I can find that. Maybe he's sending on a DM. I don't know. I don't see it in the Patreon group if that's what you're talking about, pal. But,
King Tron with another super chat. He asks, which rival could you stomach winning a Super Bowl? If you mean divisional rival,
none.
I was gonna say I can't do that, but geez. If I'll go back. When it was the NFC North of old, I'll say Tampa Bay. How about that?
Yeah, you mean the NFC Central?
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah, NFC Central.
That was a fun time, Tim. That was a real fun time, man. Warren Sapp and Brett Favre in each other's face.
Oh, man.
So much fun, man.
Those were great games, and to see the trash talking and the intensity that those guys had, and then the utmost respect they had for each other is incredible. One of the better defensive lineman quarterback rivalries, I think, in the game for sure.
This is an interesting question, though, from Tron. I'm going to kind of reword it a little bit, Tron. Appreciate you bringing it up. If you had to choose, you have to choose. You have to choose, guys. You can't cop out on this. You got to choose Bears, Lions, or Vikings.
Lions.
Who would you rather win? Tim's going to freak out.
Are you insane? Lose my number, bro. We're not friends anymore.
We're no longer friends. It means we're donezo. Hey, can I come over and play video games? We're donezo.
We got to make it to that meeting.
It's a tough question, man. I don't want to answer it. I've got a little bit of a cop-out because my nephew, I used to hate the Vikings worse than any other fan base in the league. But my nephew, I told you guys how he became a Vikings fan, had some real bad medical issues as a child, spent time up there at the Children's Hospital, and the Viking players would come over and visit him all the time. So that's why he became a Vikings fan. So if I had to choose between those three before these last couple of years here, I would have said Lions, but they have become obnoxious. Like they're one of the most toxic fan bases I have ever met. It's really surprised me how they all of a sudden got a little bit of success and they just became absolutely insufferable. So because of my nephew and my love for him, I would have to say I would go Vikings. But
okay, you get a pass then. We're still friends.
We're not going to talk as often, but we're still friends. So does that mean you're going Bears, Tim? Who would you have to go with, man? I know it's not.
I think I would rather see that poverty franchise from Chicago get another one before I see the Vikings or the Lions get one. Yes, I would agree with that, especially when you consider the lineage of the franchises.
Right.
You know, Papa Bear and Curly, and you know, just the relationship to the NFL and to professional football that the Packers and Bears have held for well over 100 years. I think I would, as crazy as it sounds, I think I would pick the Bears over either of those other crummy teams who shall remain nameless.
You know what? Donovan Schilling just convinced me. And it's not just because I want to win back your friendship, Tim. He said, actually, I'm going to say Bears. They already have one. Would be cool to keep two without any. That just agreed. I agree with that.
You ready to go?
All right, I found the pup picture that the viewers who was that said that again? They gave us a super chat there, Jacob.
That was Crutch. Where's his name here? Paging Dr. Crutch.
There you go. So here he commented on a tweet. Is the reason I couldn't find it. So here we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you guys can't be name dropping Mike Vick. My pup is listening with me. Man, that's awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome.
Pup looks like he's bored already. He's like, oh, we're playing the Browns today. Wake me up after the dub.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not only is he sporting the green and gold, but also, correct me if I'm wrong, that looks like a red, white, and blue collar there too, right?
Love it.
Representing the colors. I absolutely love
Hey, you know what? I actually, unfortunately, my dog passed away a few weeks ago, but I bought him this jersey, so he's never worn it other than one time for a photo. So if anybody has a dog that's maybe, I don't know, 60 pounds-ish, let me know, and I'll send it out to somebody in the chat so it can get some good use.
Or, Jacob, you could get one of those mini frames and retire that jersey. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
There you go.
That's a good
There you
point,
go.
too.
I like
That's
that.
a good point.
All right, man. So appreciate you taking the time to send that over there on Twitter. It's at Paging Dr. Crutch. There you go. All right. Good deal. Let's get back to around the league real quick and just take a look at some of these other games that are going on. Obviously, the North is what we're most interested in, I should say. But there are some other games I think that you could find interesting. You got the Colts at the Titans out there in Nashville, going to be 82 degrees. This is about this time last year that I went and watched the Titans and the Packers play and had a few too many Captain Morgans. And yeah.
It's going to be an interesting game, though. My AFC sleepers are the Colts and the Jags this year.
Colts look good, man.
Yep.
Danny Dimes over there, man. He just looks like he is a completely different quarterback. And I know it got loud when they were talking about not playing Anthony Richardson. You guys know if you've watched this show, I want to say that might have been the first draft that I covered. I did a breakdown of the quarterbacks. Again, it doesn't affect our draft board because our draft board has nothing to do with our personal opinion. But a listener had asked me, hey, I want to hear your analysis of the top quarterbacks in the draft. Anthony Richardson was one of them that I included in the analysis of the top 5 quarterbacks in that draft. I ranked him last because he didn't have the 4 keys, man. The 4 keys, first of all, he hasn't played much football. He may end up being a great pro, but he hasn't played much football in college, college leading up to the pros. But, my big thing is being able to pre-snap read, post-snap read, right? Accuracy and quick release. And the only thing he had out of all those things, in my opinion, was the quick release, and it wasn't even the best in that class, So it was just like, and people were like, "Oh, he's a physical freak, this and that." And when people talk about a mobile quarterback, what I like to always say is remove their ability. If they were no longer a scrambling quarterback and they were just a pocket quarterback, they've got Joe Flacco speed. Where would you rank them? And if you ain't ranking them toward the top, then you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Now, if you get a player that can do both, that's absolutely awesome. Someone like a Jaden Daniels, right?
Yep.
So Jaden Daniels in that conversation, if you were to remove his ability to scramble, he's still ranked toward the top, in my opinion. You know,
Well, we removed his ability to scramble last week.
Hey,
Got to see
that
that.
17 yards, I believe.
yeah, that's a fact, man. And now he's banged up for a couple games too. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Real quick, King Tron give us a $5. Said towards the Beards doggy fame. I really
Nice.
appreciate that.
That's
Appreciate
it.
all
It's
your kind
official now,
comments.
Jacob. You're
Yeah.
retiring that jersey.
Nah, that's a great point. I appreciate you guys in the comments, man. That means a lot to me.
absolutely, man. And what I love about our viewers, you can tell everybody are dog lovers, man. Just absolute. And I want to do a charity there soon. I know, Tim, you have one lined up. We'll
Yep.
get into that here soon. And then the next one, I'd like to do something with like an animal shelter or something for sure, because that's something that's near and dear to my heart for sure, man. They're angels in disguise. There's no doubt about it. So Steelers at the Patriots. Speaking of the opposite of angels, Steelers at the Patriots here. 1 o'clock kickoff on CBS. Looks like 66 degrees.
That's going to be an interesting matchup. We're
Yeah,
going to find out a lot about both of these teams today for sure.
Aaron Rodgers going into New England there to try to get a dub. And it's really weird, man. Steelers have always been known for their defense, and they are cheeks this year so far. And Aaron's kind of got the offense to where I expected the offense to be dragging that team down a little bit and the defense kind of carrying the water. It's been the opposite. So 1-1 start. They still got time to obviously have a successful season, but that's going to be an interesting game there.
It's Aaron Rodgers and nice defenses are like oil and water.
Right.
I don't know what's happening there.
And in the back of his mind, he was thinking when he went to the Jets, oh, they got a top 5 defense every year. Yeah, let's go there. And all of a sudden that didn't work. He gets injured his first year, and then it's not really the same team the following years. So, yeah.
What up, Murph? We got Murph in the house.
Let's go. We're getting the dub today for sure. Cheesehead Murph in the building. Let's go.
This is another game that you'll want to keep your eye on. The 2-0 Rams on the road against the 2-0 Eagles. Now, the officials, sounds like, are going to really start cracking down on the Eagles, how they've been false starting on every single tush push, right? If they didn't have that play, I don't think the Eagles are half the team they are. You know how many short yardage downs they convert with that play? So if they start calling it fair now, where you've seen all the skybox cams and everything, right, guys?
Yeah. Like, why are we talking about even false starts? I mean, you're not even lined up.
I was going to say that
the flag should be thrown. Like, the ball shouldn't even be snapped. You guys are already lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah,
we've heard everything, right? We've heard false starts. We've heard injury concerns and all of this stuff. It's like, how about the fact that you're not even following basic rules of football, that you cannot line up over the ball?
Yeah,
seems pretty easy to figure that out, right? So hopefully they do clean that up. We'll see, though. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Nick McSwain said their Eagles haven't looked super great this year. It's true, and that's why many people think that the Packers might be the best team in the NFC. Although I got to say, guys, the Rams, don't sleep on the Rams, man. They're off to a pretty solid start too. So that's a 1 o'clock kickoff on Fox as well. 73 degrees, and it looks like mostly cloudy, maybe partly cloudy there in that game in Philly. So nice football weather. Next, you got the Jets going down to the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 2-0. Baker Mayfield off to a great start. Which shout out to Baker Mayfield. It's been really cool to see him evolve as a human being. You know, he was kind of wild child, got into some stuff he probably shouldn't have, nothing legally, but just kind of morally, ethnically, you know. And then all of a sudden, he's talking about, hey, man, found Christ, has turned his life around, and he looks like a different human being. It's really cool to see him evolve, man. I remember when I was a knucklehead and young and stupid and thought that I knew everything. So he seems to have those Buccaneers on the right track. It's unfortunate for us Packer fans. It looks like that might be one of the teams to beat in the NFC as the season goes along here. They're sitting 2-0. The Jets are 0-2. No surprise there. And it couldn't happen to a better person than Aaron Glenn, in my opinion. So moving along here, 1 o'clock kickoff. Raiders at the Commanders. Both teams are 1-1, 72 degrees and cloudy in Landover, Maryland for that game. Commanders are kind of they're not playing Jaden Daniels, I don't believe. So they're kind of at the crossroads, Jacob. They came in, many people thought they were going to be the best team in the league, you know, and or one of the best teams in the league. And now it's looking like they're 2 or 3 losses away from looking up and going, oh crap, we're missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. And I believe, is it Mariota is the backup? I mean, obviously a guy that spent some time. I actually met him once in Nashville. Really nice guy, but, you know, he's no Jaden Daniels. And that Raiders team, if they can kind of get their stuff together, you know, they've got a lot of young talent, a lot of guys that can flash in certain situations. And the Commanders, like you said, they're almost a few losses away from them kind of putting their hands in their head and saying what the heck just happened. People were very, very excited about them, and I still think. How do you know the timeline? Anybody know the timeline on when Jaden can come back? I thought it was just maybe. Is he on IR?
A week or two or something.
Okay, that's what I thought. So
I could be wrong there. That's in my mind. I thought I seen something that he was going to be back sooner rather than later. But
yeah,
that could be I think a trickier and more competitive division than most people are giving credit. Obviously with the Eagles, the Giants are kind of flashing little bits and pieces that they might not be the stomping pad that everybody thought they'd be. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, next game here, you've got the Falcons at the Panthers, 1 o'clock kickoff, 83 degrees, mostly sunny over there in North Carolina, over in Charlotte. 1 o'clock kickoff, you get the Texans at the Jaguars. Texans are 0-2, the Jaguars are 1-1, 86 degrees. I'm sure that'll be humid down there in Jacksonville. Jumping into the 4 o'clock window, you've got the Broncos at the Chargers. Broncos are 1-1, Chargers 2-0. That'll be indoors there in Inglewood, California at SoFi Stadium. And then you got a 4 o'clock kickoff, the 0-2 Saints and the 1-1 Seahawks. They're calling for 63 degrees and surprise, surprise, pretty cloudy out there in Seattle for that 4 o'clock Eastern kick. These are all Eastern times, obviously. And then a 4:25 kickoff on Fox. You've got the 2-0 Cardinals at the 2-0 49ers. So that's going to be another in it. We're going to get some answers to the questions there in the NFC for that game. 79 degrees in Santa Clara, California. What do y'all think about that one? Who do you feel most threatened by? Who would you rather win this game? However you want to answer the question. I'll start with you, Tim. Cardinals at the Niners. What do you want to see happen?
As a Packer fan, I feel threatened by Newland. Lombardi home. No, but seriously, you talk about two teams that very quietly are 2-0 right now, just like we are. I think after the season that San Francisco had last year, a lot of people may have prematurely written them off. Obviously, Coach Shanahan knows what he's doing over there. I think that's going to be a hell of a ball game, honestly. And when you look at the NFC side of the coin, at this point in the year, I mean, certainly looks like at least one of these two teams will be playoff teams, if not both of them. So something as Packer fans we should kind of keep an eye on, definitely today.
Jacob?
Yeah, and it's a tough one. I absolutely cannot stand the 49ers. I will always never like them. So I'm a little bit impressed with the way that Kyler Murray, not supposedly, but has been playing. Kind of maybe lost his
Xbox controller battery.
It
died. The battery died. He doesn't have a charger. So
I was literally going to say
good
that
this year.
But yeah, so if I had to pick one that I don't want to be 2-0, it'd be the 49ers. But if it's one that I think is a little better, I'd maybe lean towards the Cardinals, which is interesting to say.
Got it. Good stuff. All right. Yeah, for me, it's definitely I'm rooting for the Cardinals there. I just love to see the 49ers fall flat on their face.
Yeah.
Biz 1987. Go Cardinals, I guess. Really don't like the Niners for obvious reasons. That's very well said.
Yep.
And then the ending the week 3 slate of games here on
Can't wait
Sunday
to watch
night.
this game.
The 0-2 Chiefs at the 0-2 Giants. If the Giants force the Chiefs to go 0-3, oh boy. Is it going to get strange out there in Kansas City? What do y'all think there? Am I the only one pulling for the Giants? I know they're an NFC team.
Oh, no. How about them Giants? Let's go. I'm with you, player.
Oh, Giants.
I mean, here's what I'm going to call right now. Cam Scattaboo is going to come in there. He's going to bounce all over those defenders. I mean, he is a fun guy to watch. He reminds me of Mike Allstott Light. I mean, the guy is just an absolute thunderhead. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy watching Travis Kelce, just absolutely screaming and losing his mind, listening to Kermit the Frog do the post-game interviews and just absolutely having to eat crow. I just, once you've been on top for so long, I'm sorry, the haters are going to love watching you fall, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Yes. However, we all say that with the same grain of salt in that we would not be shocked if Kansas City finally came in there.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely boat race them, right?
Yeah.
Still an Andy Reid coach team.
Donovan Schilling says Giants money line all day. So everybody is pulling for the Giants for sure. All right. So Monday Night Football, guys. Lions at 1-1 at the Ravens 1-1. Calling for a 70-degree kickoff there for that night game on Monday Night Football, 8:15 kickoff. So pretty cool, man. We get to immediately after the Packers game, we get to kind of hop over and watch the Bears root against them, right? And then, of course, tomorrow you get Monday Night Football Lions Ravens. So it's going to be too late to do that. I was going to say we might do a little watch party for that, but I'm getting old, boys. I'm getting old. So go ahead, Jake. Do
you
have
know
something?
everyone on this pod is going to be cheering for Baltimore in that matchup, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, Lamar. Let's go. Get it done, man.
All right. So ESPN Insights put this out. Rob Demovsky retweeted it. Came up on my feed. Said Jordan Love has thrown 0 interceptions this season despite averaging an NFL high 12.2 air yards per attempt. The Browns defense has 0 interceptions this season and has allowed a league high 3 touchdowns of 15 plus air yards, tied with the Cowboys for most. So even though you look at that defense and you look at the number statistically, yards per play, and they go, wow, that's a pretty solid defense. Those numbers right there kind of scream for you might want to start Jordan Love today, just because of those obviously 15 plus air yard statistics around the Browns. So pretty cool, man. It's one thing to protect the football and dink and dunk, Jacob, but the fact that Jordan Love is averaging NFL high 12.2 air yards per attempt and protecting the ball, pretty impressive. It's just like the Malik Heath throw, right? He threw it only where Malik Heath could get to it, man. He's pinpoint accurate right now.
Absolutely. And like we highlighted earlier, there was a few overthrows to Golden. I remember one to Kraft that were just, inches away from connection. So had those been a completed pass, those numbers would be even more skyrocketing right now. I'd look for Jordan Love to come out here and try to establish a run. And if that doesn't work, I think that dude's going to be humming that tater all over the place. And I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. All right. So again, Jordan Love on a bit of a heater right now. We see just a second ago, the Packers tweeted this out. You got Tucker Kraft leaving the field. That knee looks just fine to me.
Ooh, he's ready.
So, look at all the Packer fans near the tunnel there too, man. So that's pretty cool. You see cheeseheads everywhere. Going to be awesome. What do y'all think? What's the stat line going to be for Tucker Kraft today?
90 yards and a tutter. Let's go.
I'm going to go 5 receptions, 89 yards and a tud.
All right. I like it. I think what I would like to see is the Packers control this game, get up early, and get Tucker Kraft the hell out of there. That's what I'd like to see.
That's actually a good point.
I'd be cool with 2 catches for 12 yards and get him out of there. You know what I mean? But if it's a close game, the reason I wanted to highlight this and talk about it a little bit, man, Tucker Kraft has quickly become Jordan Love's top target, especially with Jaden Reed now being out. It's so cool to see them create that chemistry. And I think Tucker Kraft, it's just a matter of time. When he gets his contract year, he's going to be with the Packers for a very long time.
Too old for this with the comment of the day. It says Kraft hates Kirby Joseph so much that he turned his knees to steel.
I love
it.
There you go. All right, we got some starting offensive line in warm-ups here. Give y'all a little update there in terms of what that's going to look like. Looks like Matt Schneidman had tweeted this out. Get it on the screen so you guys can see it as well. He tweeted out, Packers starting offensive line in warm-ups, left tackle Rasheed Walker, left guard Aaron Banks, center Elton Jenkins, right guard Sean Ryan, right tackle Zach Tom. So it looks like Sean Ryan, as of the moment, will most likely be starting at right guard over our boy Jordan Morgan. Really, really like that, to be honest with you, man. Sean Ryan's been playing good. And I know there's some people, he's a first-round pick, he needs to play. No, we need to have the best 5 out there.
Exactly.
Once a player is drafted, I don't care where they were drafted. Now you get the best 11 on the field, the best 22 on the field. That's all that matters. And if it ends up being a bust, so be it. If it ends up being year 3 that they take a jump, so be it. Sean Ryan, if you guys remember, year 1, I don't even think he was active, right? He was suspended.
Performance enhancing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is something that, and he was a 3rd-round pick. Now, all of a sudden, you get in the final year of his contract and he's matured and everything. Play the best 5, and I love the fact that Jordan Morgan, someone who's coming off the bench, he plays way better on the left side. Yeah. Left tackle is his top spot. There's no doubt in my mind. He plays that better than any position. Left guard's probably 2nd best, right? And who knows, if either Sean Ryan or Zach Tom gets pulled early, maybe Anthony Belton is kind of your right side guy. Could be the case. But what do y'all think about that starting lineup?
I think it says more about Sean Ryan than it does about Jordan Morgan. To that point, I've always agreed with you, Clay. I think Jordan Morgan is a pure left tackle. The fact that we get meaningful reps and decent reps as a left guard from him is a good thing. But I'd even argue stick him at center before you start moving him over towards that right side of the line. So I think it says more about the fact that Sean Ryan, after that kind of tumultuous rookie season, you talk about a great example of, how good Green Bay can be for a football player. I think the fact that Sean Ryan spent that time here is what changed the trajectory of his career. And he's playing damn good football at right guard for us. There's no reason to move him off that spot at all. So I think it's pretty awesome. We were having different conversations earlier in the week, and looks like our starting line is 100% good to go today. So we'll see how the game progresses, right?
Yeah, what do you think about Brambo saying that I give us the best backup to have Morgan at the 6th O lineman? Also, I would argue Belton is the best 7th if you're going to look at it that way. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited about it.
And you still feel pretty good about Kennard. That's
yeah.
Absolutely.
So again, it's not to toot our own horn, but as soon as the Eagles game wrapped up, it got real loud with people saying, we need a corner. We got to go get a corner. We can't depend on John. We need cornerbacks. There was other positions, obviously pass rush. We got to go get an edge defender. We got to get an edge pass rusher, right? And we talked about immediately following the game. Guys, you got to remove the emotion and ask yourself, why did you lose to the Eagles? What if you had to put – there's multiple reasons, don't get me wrong. But if you had to select one, it's more, this is the reason, the most obvious reason we lost to the Eagles in the playoff game. It was offensive line play. And then lo and behold, you sign Aaron Banks and you make that trade for Kennard. You draft Anthony Belton in the 2nd round. Now you look up and go, damn, we got a pretty deep offensive line. It's nice to see. Now, don't get me wrong. It was a 3-tech rich draft. We were talking about 3-tech too, going, hey, if you don't know Devontae Wyatt's the guy or not, go get a 3-tech. Because there's a bunch of them in this draft, and you kind of handpick one in the 1st round. But I like the way they approached it for sure. So, yeah.
Can I share you guys? I see in the chat a lot of guys are spreading some over-unders on daily fantasy. Can I give you a couple
yeah, man.
Prop bets? So Josh Jacobs is at 10.5 receiving yards. For me, that's an easy over. Romeo Dobbs, 39.5. Not sure what to think about that. Dontavian Wicks, 38.5. Luke Musgrave is sitting at 5.5 receiving yards. To me, I slam that over. Absolutely slam it. Chris Brooks is 4.5 receiving yards. Malik Heath, just to this point here for Bosco Jenkins, 9.5 receiving yards. I'm telling you what, I think we could make some money today if you got a.
That might be the easiest over ever.
I think so too, man. I'm good for it.
Keep talking for a second. I'm going to try to look something up real quick. Sorry.
Matthew Golden, they got him slotted at 32.5. I believe I saw that Jordan Love was only slated at, there was like 222, 224.5. So I don't know what to think here, guys. We could have a great game. Jordan Love at 5.5 rush yards. I would slam that over. Josh Jacobs, they have him slated at 77.5. That one might stay away from just because of how well this Cleveland defense has been. Tim, does any of those numbers jump out at you that you want to go bet the farm?
Well, I'm not a sports bettor, but and I don't give away free advice. So I would say, that Jordan Love is probably going to have more than 5 yards on the ground. I would think the first time he has to extend the pocket, turn the corner, he's probably going to hit that mark.
That's
I'm with you on the Musgrave thing, Jacob. That's the one that seems pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the Packers playing 5th most 12 personnel. It's all about opportunities when it comes to those over and unders, in my opinion.
Tim's saying he doesn't do nothing for free. He's like,
Pay that man his money.
Isn't it funny that that's Tim's favorite drop? And then he says, I don't give a boss away for Love it. All right. So shout out to Pro Football Hall of Fame ambassador who tagged me in a tweet here, says Jordan Love, Packers quarterback, since the start of the 2024, Love has been sacked on 9% of his pressure dropbacks, the 2nd best rate in the NFL over that time per PFF. Now, again, what is that stat saying, guys? It's not saying he's pressured a lot, right? What it is saying, though, is when he is pressured, right? When he's got pressure in his face, only 9% of those snaps where he's specifically pressured is he actually sacked. That's the 2nd best in the league since the start of 2024. So, again, what's the big problem with Caleb Williams other than the fact that he's a Bear? We talked about it, right? He's got generational arm talent. Still some accuracy issues. That comes with throwing off platform and not having strong mechanics. Maybe Ben Johnson could get that fixed. But he's got a cannon for an arm, right? But what's the problem? In college, he got sacked a lot, and he's taken a lot of sacks in the pros. And
Jamarcus Russell had a cannon for an arm, too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It has nothing to do with the offensive line, guys. When you're taking sacks and you're holding the ball for 4+ seconds, that is, I'm telling you, man, that you want to identify a bust of a quarterback quickly, early in their career. It's how long they're holding the football and what year is it? Is it year 2, 3, 4 when they learn, damn, I got to get rid of this football. Jordan Love is one of the best in the league at not taking those sacks. And the reason it's so important is because when you lose 7 yards, when you lose 9 yards on a sack, or hell, even if it's 3 yards, if you're sitting at a 2nd and 8 and you take a stupid sack, lose 3 yards, now you're looking at a 3rd and 11. Over if you'd have ran the ball for 2 yards, you'd be looking at a 3rd and 6. That's what truly determines the outcome of games. So the fact that Jordan Love is 2nd best in the league here since 2024, what do y'all think about that? That's a pretty sweet stat, man. And again, it's not one you're going to find in the box scores.
I mean, I don't know about you, Tim, but what's more impressive than that is that he hasn't been necessarily healthy during that time. So imagine if he had the wheels to actually kind of move the way that he does. And he is. I think that maybe one of the most underrated aspects of his game is the way that he seems to just effortlessly avoid pressure. He knows when to step up. He knows when to scramble, which I would argue I would want him to do more of lately, but I don't want to obviously put him in any sort of position. We saw the way that he came around the right-hand side and just truck stick poor Trey Amos in the next week. The guy's not afraid to pull it down and run, and I really respect that about his game. More
decisive. We talked about him, a couple seasons ago, kind of getting caught in that indecision spot, where you're extending the play or extending the pocket. You probably should tuck it and run it, but you can't make up your mind because you're still scanning downfield. I think he's slowly putting all that together. Something he probably picked up from A-Rod, honestly. Aaron was one of the best at, extending that play and then creeping right up to that line of scrimmage, knowing where it is and knowing you still have the opportunity to throw the ball. I think Jordan's more decisive. That's the biggest change.
Yeah, definitely. This is pretty cool here, and I want to give a shout out to Denomino, I think is his name, over in our Patreon group. If you guys are wondering where these messages are coming from, that's our Patreon community, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. $3 to get you access to all the chats, all the extra content we put over there. It also gets you entered into the giveaways, which we're going to be giving away an autographed Matthew Golden rookie card. I'm not going to put that spin the wheel together until probably about halftime of the game. So you still got time to jump into that. Again, it's just a way for us to give back to those who are supporting the channel. He said 50 years of NFL on CBS. Check this image out here, man. So they went back to what would y'all say? This is the 70s, right? I would imagine
70s, yeah.
You get the friendly mutton chops. Love the collars. Tim got a couple collared shirts like that. I know he does. You kidding me, man? I was at the casino yesterday, Tim, up here in Bristol. We just got away and was like, you know what? Let's go to the casino and hang out. Went up there, ate some good wings, and played some slots. There was a couple guys in the crowd with some collars like this over there, man. There were some funny cats at the sports book, especially.
Shout out to Uncle Rico, dead center, by the way.
That's right.
I love that. And Nate Burleson looking like Al Green in his prime. You got to love that, too.
Yeah, my favorite, though, is I always forget, is it James Brown? Is that who that is? Who is that? Is that James Brown?
Not the James Brown.
Not,
but
kind of looks like him.
James Brown. Football's James Brown.
Yeah, so, I mean, you hear his voice. And from my childhood, I go back to the old Fox NFL Sunday when I hear his voice. But obviously, he's been with CBS for a while now. But he's crushing those friendly mutton chops. There ain't no two ways about it. That's awesome.
I like Brett Musburger. Just like, you know what, man, this is what I'm rocking.
Right.
I've been around longer than you young whippersnappers. I love it.
I wonder if he realizes what's going on. Is actually like, damn, was that all a dream the last 50 years? Here we are still in the 70s.
They should have broke out the old CBS sports jackets, with the logo on the chest.
Yeah. Those are fire, man. For sure. All right. Anything else y'all want to hit on, boys? You got anything else, Jacob, that's on the forefront of your mind, maybe in the chat or something y'all seen that you want to hit real quick?
Just Keyshawn Nixon. I look for him to continue the streak that he's on right now. 5 PBUs last week. That was the most for a single game since any player could do it in 2023. It's the most the Packers done it since Jair did it in his rookie year in 2018. If he could continue that sort of tear that he's on, we went into the offseason and then into the preseason really worried, at least me personally, worried about the cornerback room. I think that the Micah Parsons, the combo of him, Gary, Wyatt, LVN has made those guys' job a lot easier. And I'm just excited to see what they're going to do today.
Yeah. Yep. Seeing over here in the pregame, too, just off screen, we got, 25 minutes till kickoff, and a stat just popped up. It's the first time Jordan Love's been 2-0 in his young career here. Tim, many people are tying that age of 27 to when I think Brett won his Super Bowl and Aaron won his Super Bowl, if I remember correctly. There's still things just continue to line up.
And Bart.
Yep.
Or is it Bart too? Holy
Yeah.
cow. Wow. That's awesome. So it's going to be a fun year, man. Tim, you got anything else you want to hit on, buddy?
Yeah, defense tilts this game. That's where I'm going. I think we talked about it being a close ball game. I think if we get turnovers and points off of turnovers, that could kind of change the landscape of how this game is gonna play out. I do think it'll be a defensive struggle, but I know this offense can put points on the board. So if our defense is getting those turnovers and takeaways, at least be +1 in the turnover differential, and I think we get out here with a comfortable win, we'll say.
Yeah. Jacob, if you could look something up for me, man, do you have an over-under on Prize Picks or whatever site you're using for Savion Williams today in yards? You may have mentioned it. I apologize if you did. You have that. I'm going to run through some stats here real quick. Yeah, just look it up. Let me know when you got it. But Jordan Love here, just to go through the statistical leaders for the Packers, and we'll wrap this thing up. Jordan Love, obviously 35 of 53 for 480 yards on the young season, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, got a passer rating of 120.0. Yards per attempt is 9.1, 66% completion percentage, guys. Aaron Rodgers' career completion percentage was 65%. That's the line I always use. So if you're at 65%. 65%. That's what we If you're at 63%, 2% below the arguably the best thrower of a football in the history of the game, I'm not overly concerned about it. When you're 1% higher than his career average, pretty good indication there, pretty good sign. His EPA is plus 17.6, EPA per drop back, a positive 0.31. I think that put him top 5 in the league. He's only took 2 sacks this year as well. So, Jacob, you got that yet, or is it not even listed, man?
So they don't have anything listed on Underdog or Prize Picks for Savion.
Savion's going to be interesting because I think you'll start to see him pop up on those lists as the season goes along. So the reason I mentioned that, Josh Jacobs, 42 attempts, 150 yards, only 3.6 a pop. We talked about how he's been facing heavy boxes so far this early season, still has 2 touchdowns. We want to keep that streak going. For him to score another touchdown today would be absolutely awesome. Savion Williams, guys, is second on the league in rushing yards with 24. He's only got 2 attempts. So don't be surprised if you continue to see Savion mixed in it, whether it's a Wildcat package, a jet sweep, or like we talked about, that 883 pony package, and get some action to where you maybe fake that, that spin move that Jordan Love does, fake it to the left halfback, give it to the right type thing. Don't be surprised if that starts to happen as well. Jordan Love has scrambled 6 times for 16 yards. And you've got Matthew Golden's got 15 yards rushing there as well. Receiving leaders, Tucker Kraft on 11 targets, 140 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. He's leading the team. Obviously got a 72.7% catch rate. Romeo Dobbs is second with 96 yards receiving. He's got 5 catches for 96 yards. Dontavion Wicks, 6 catches for 74 yards. He's got a 75% catch percentage there, and he's leading the team. Not leading the team, but he's up there. Catch rate over expected, plus 25.6. Malik Heath, guys, only has 1 catch. But look at his catch rate over expected, right where we were talking about last year. That was his dominant stat. He led the team in catch rate over expected, plus 92.2% because of that one surface catch on the sideline. So that's where the receivers are at. In terms of the defense, obviously Edgerrin Cooper off to a great start. He's got 15 stops so far, 8 hustle stops. That leads the league last I heard. And then sacks, Rashawn Gary's leading the team with 2.5 on the early season. Obviously, Keyshawn Nixon off to a strong start in coverage as well. So there you go. Just a quick little rundown of the statistics for the Packers. We're going to get out of here, guys. We got, I don't know how, probably about, what do we got, about 20 more minutes before kickoff, something like that?
19 minutes. Do you want to do some game score predictions here quick before we get out of here?
Yeah, y'all go ahead. Let's do it, man. What are you thinking, Jacob?
I'm going to go 31-17. Packers.
Hey, I'm going to be over here slamming wings if that's the case. I might just stop charting the game, Tim, if we win that big, man. What do you think? How are you feeling about this one, man?
Jacob, I hate doing score predictions.
I do too.
I know, that's why I made you do it.
I'm going to go I think we cracked the 30 burger finally. I'm going to go 31-17 Packers.
Got it. 31-17. Got it. I'm going to say, and I haven't put any thought in this, to be honest with you. I'm going to say 28 I'm going to say 28-21. A little bit closer than people think. By the end of the game, that'll be the final score, 28-21. Look at that. Clint, the armchair quarterback, says 28-6. That would be awesome, too, by the way. I know the Browns don't have the best offense in the league, but if you're able to keep them under 10 points, is it wrong for me to almost want the Packers to give up more points in garbage time just so maybe we don't lose Halfley next year? You know what I mean? Am I wrong for thinking that?
I mean, that's a pretty good reason. I would say maybe also because you're playing with a lead and you can stay vanilla and not put too much on tape for the Dallas matchup next week. So I would agree with that, Clay.
Yeah. So if you're up by a couple scores, Tim, what you're saying is, hey, don't show too much. Let's kind of, let's just bring this thing in for a nice, easy landing. And that might be how it gets to less than a 10-point win. Now, listen, we're all picking them to win. I'm not going to come in here surprised if somehow, some way the Browns pull out a dub here, because this is the NFL, man. Any given Sunday, anything can happen, and any team can get hot. But really like the way this Packers team's playing. But we will see you guys for the post-game show. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Y'all are awesome. King Tron, been a member for 9 months. Also throwing out the super chats all day long, buddy. We appreciate you. Paging Dr. Crutch, also with the super chat. Appreciate you for the dono. And then Bosco Jenkins with the super chat as well. Y'all are all too kind. So we'll see y'all immediately following the game for the PTA post-game show. Everybody hit like. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Make sure you click that bell icon so you're notified when we do go live. Hopefully we're back in here in a few hours celebrating a dub. So everybody have a great time. Enjoy the game. Be careful out there. We'll see you soon.
There we go.
Bye, guys.